walking the walk. This is a Tom Roby poem. Okay. Walking the walk. Sidewalk Sawyer cut 100,000 cross lines on designer pavements and never lost a line. His broad frame, long arms, and outsized grip ran the power blade as if it were a handsaw. The name fit the sideways hitch in his gait, shaped by the attentive steps he took to the left of his push cart saw. Each foot set heel to toe as he leaned on the handle with exacting pressure to engrave the groove. His tracks were not those of the slacker crews in knee-high rubber boots who loved to slop around in the concrete like kids as he shoveled to fill the forming pen. They were minions of the process, lurching home from the bar after work, dreaming the mixer truck's incessant sluice, while Sidewalk lay on his insomniac couch and gazed at Euclid's ideal line, the perfect groove. Every day he generated so much dust that he looked like a walking slab of sidewalk. For 50 years he disdained face masks as a distraction, claiming that he washed it all out after work with a pitcher of beer. But in time the dust set off a cough, and after Sidewalk's cough had blown all the foam off their beer, they were glad to have their boots on. Left to himself, he filled the back booth with elaborate layouts parading lines vertical and lines horizontal, diagonal lines, too risky for the bosses, and bright blocks in red, blue, and yellow, too loud and pricey. When shown a Mondrian print, he said, "Give me his phone number, I'll get him a job." The cough got worse. His drinking buddies took bets that he wouldn't last the week, but behind the saw, Sidewalk never even cleared his throat until halfway through an uneven surface on a Gold Coast curb he was tripped by his sneeze. The blade jumped its groove, took a random bite at the block, and sliced across his foot, cutting off the toes. He switched off, pressure taped the shoe, and drove his dusty pickup deep into the city junkyard where the guard dogs found his bloodless corpse 3 days later. And the coroner had to pry from his grip the clipboard with a perfect freehand drawing of the groove on the completed sidewalk.
Thank you. Because of time and because I'm not quite sure about battery life or whatever, I would say if people have one more that is really, really short, we might be able to put it on. I might not get it for the podcast, but if you got something really short, we can add. And I'm trying to find ones by different people, and that's why I have a poem here by John Yatko that is called "I Speak with Borrowed Words." I speak with borrowed words. I'd like to think they were mine, these words of individual rights, of logic and reason, but I know they are not mine. I speak with borrowed words. I haven't the time for my own, with the job, the house, and school. You know how it is. Life just seems to take time away. If you ever hear me speak with wisdom, I speak with borrowed words, because I haven't any of my own.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant poet, and even though she writes mostly about her everyday life experiences, she adds her genius, right? She adds her genius to it. And this is not the first time I've read it. It's called Hell's Bells. cell phone rang on Yom Kippur. In the synagogue. Then one went off in the loo. Yesterday, the ghost of Ed Norton emerged from a manhole, chatting presumably to the bus driver. Is that you, Ralphie? Do you like being rung bidding no Trump? In the midst of a row, exchanging your vows? Once there was a commodity called privacy. You could change lanes without commentary, squeeze a cantaloupe without company. Today you may not see a movie or wheel in for surgery. Who is it now? Calling to say what other than they've got your number? A pox on these instruments that give us no quarter. In quieter days, a cell meant jail. Hello?